I can show you how to make this joint on Fusion 360. The size, it doesn't really matter. Hello, welcome to Scratch 3D Printing. This video I would like to talk about twist joint. Let's scratch today's topic. So what is twist joint? Well, twist joint is, if you want to join two parts together, you can join them by twisting the parts, interlocking them with one and another. Many of the filament holders are twist joint, or however you want to call them. I've been doing research on this and there has not been a specific name on it. Twist snap joint or twist joint or just snap joint or whatever. I'm just gonna call it twist joint. So yeah, like I said, many of the filament holder are twist joint. Put the filament arm and the spool holder together, you twist them and then they snap together. So I've been playing with the twist joint and I found that there are many ways of doing them and they're actually pretty cool and actually pretty complicated if you want to go further and beyond. I've been messing around with this and I came up with two twist joints right here. These look very identical. The size, it doesn't really matter. And each of them serves a different purpose, but they still have the same mechanism. By twisting them and then joining them together, these two parts join similarly, but they act differently. One of them can snap off by pulling them, and one of them can snap off by twisting them. Well, which one is which, and does one have an advantage over the other? Well, maybe each of them serves a different purpose. I'll show you right now. This one, the longer one here, is the first one I modeled. These two parts are PLA. This is transparent PLA. I tried to make it as transparent as possible by only doing one layer of wall and no infill at all, so I can get as transparent as possible, but you still really can't see through it, but you can kind of see through it. This joint right here is actually more difficult to model than this one right here because it requires a few extra steps. These two are like the first prototypes that I made to join this piece, but I could not get them to fit. And this one actually fits really nicely. So let's talk about this one first. This one has two of these joint thingy or whatever you call these things. It just has two of them, or four if you count all of them. It has four of these offset thingy to join them together. And this one was the first one I modeled. As you can see here, right? It has a hole right there. It fit, right? But you can't twist them at all because this part right here is way too small for this to twist in there. When I modeled this on Fusion 360, it fits perfectly. But I forgot that you need to push them down and then twist them so it doesn't have enough clearance back here. The second model here, I extrude this up a little bit up to this point right here, but it still doesn't fit. So it's like, why does it not fit? So I look closer and I modeled the third one. As you can see here, this one has a smaller top surface, but it's still super strong. And this one fits snugly. So hopefully you can see it transparent right here. So first of all, you push it in and then you twist it and then you push it in one more time. And now it's locked together very tightly. So to disassemble this, you just pull up, twist backward, and then pull up one more time. It's very simple. Well, what is this good for? Well, this is really good for if you want things to rotate back and forth like this. Because no matter how hard you try, it doesn't budge. The two pieces does not come off at all. By twisting, you can twist however hard you want. Both pieces are locked in together. But if you want them to come off, you just pull and then just twist. So this is good for applications that you need to turn something like this. Turn this thing to output to something. So this thing is very good for turning things like a wheel in the car, maybe if you want to do that. This joint here is just very strong for twisting things. So here comes the second joint, or like the more common joint that I see all over the place for filament spool holder. At first I was like, how do they even model these things? It's like, it seems complicated. Just look at examples, look at the examples of filament holder, and then just actually doing it on Fusion 360, try modeling it myself, and I actually got it to work. So is this different from the other one? A little bit, but it's very similar. So this one only has one or two, if you count both of them, only has two of the locked part. And what you do is you just put it through this hole right here. You just push it through, and then you just twist them. And it fits snugly. So to disassemble this, you twist it backward and then pull up like that. So how is this one different from this one? How are they different? Well, this one you can't pull them apart. No matter how hard you try, maybe if you do hard enough, this will break off and then you can take them apart. But this one is very good for pulling things. It's not good for twisting. You can only twist one way though. You can twist the way that you lock them together and it will never come off. But if you twist the other way, it loosens them and then it's very easy to take it apart like that. But if you just twist it only one way and pull, this thing will never come off. It's super strong, it does not come off. Now many manufacturers, or like all of the manufacturers, do a twist joint here for filament spool holder, because the spool is gonna hang here and then tilt this thing a little bit. And for this thing, when it tilts, it might pull like this and then it might come loose, right? But for this one, no matter how hard you pull, it will not come loose until you break the 3D printed parts. I would love to show you how I mounted this on Fusion 360, but it's actually quite complicated and I think it might take like over 30 minutes because I spent over an hour just trying to figure this out. I was extruding things, I was just making stuff like that and it doesn't work. I was trying to make it revolve and I was like, how does it not work? So I kept doing it for over an hour-ish and I actually finally made it work. By doing 3 revision, I actually make it to work. But I guess I can show you how to make this joint on Fusion 360 because this one is more simple. And to make this one, you just basically repeat the steps for this one. So let me show you now. Okay, so first I'm gonna be making a circle. I'm gonna be making a 70mm circle. Then I'll make a 50mm circle. I'll make a 50.2mm circle for the clearance. Then extrude this by about 50mm. It can be whatever you want. I'm just doing that for simplicity. Now let's open the same sketch. Let's extrude both of this circle by just 5mm so that we have a bottom layer. Now we can hide the body. Extrude this by about 50mm, but we're gonna do it for both sides. And extrude the bottom by -5mm so that this thing can fit inside the bigger circle. So I'm gonna add a section analysis right here so that we can just see it later on. I'm gonna hide that. I want to make the lock arm for this inner piece. So what I do is, there might be a different way, but what I do is I use tangent plane to make this perfect plane here. And I'll do another one for the other side like that so that I can get the midpoint of the circle. I'm gonna hide both of them. Now I will use the midplane to do my sketch. So I press P for project and I'm gonna project this whole cylinder thing. So now I have this line over here. I'm gonna go down by about 5mm. Then I'll do 5mm outward like here. Then I'll do another 5mm downward. Well, first of all, we need to make this whole line down here. I'll do it for this other side too. I'm gonna make a line at the midpoint here so that we can copy this side over so we don't have to do it twice. So at this point, I want to make a 40-degree angle right here because most 3D printer can print 40-degree angle pretty easily. So now we have this. I'm gonna copy this thing by using the mirror tool, selecting the mirror line, and now we have this other side, which is very nice. Let's finish the sketch. I'm going to be using the revolve tool by selecting these two pieces, axes, or just be this piece. The revolve will default to full, but you want to do partial, and you want to select 2 sides so that it will be symmetrical. Usually I just do about -5 by -5 and just join them together so that we have this interlocking arm right here. We will fillet this out later so that it will look nicer. I will bring back the other body. I will use the combine tool, selecting the outer one first and then the inner one. It has to be like that so that we can cut the inner one to the outer one. But we also want to keep the tools, which is the inner circle. So we select all of this, click OK. So we can hide this inner body and we have that perfect, right? But it cannot access it. And at this point, I would like to make another analysis at the bottom here, go up so that I can get access to this upper portion right here. I'm going to extrude it outward all the way through so that our inner piece can slide in very easily. At this point, I would like to hide everything again. Open the sketch that we previously made. Use the revolve tool again, select these 2 outer profile, select the axes, which we will bring back the outer body. Just select this piece so that it will revolve around that piece. We want to make it a little bit outward like this. I'm going to do a -25-degree angle to one side. It does not matter which side you do it. So now we can click OK, hide the sketch, and we have this opening right here, which this thing can twist and turn so that it fits in there. If we look at the inside right here, it doesn't seem it has that much clearance, which I will fix in a bit. The inner part now can twist and lock over here. So we want the outer part again, and we can use the press pull tool, or you can just press Q, select all the faces here. For whatever reason, I can't select this face because it's not working with the other one. So I'm gonna select this, do it for the other side, show the section, select the top pieces too, and then just do like a negative 0.2 clearance like that, so that it has a clearance of negative 0.2. It will fit the other part. We actually don't really need to offset this piece because it does not interfere with tolerance. Okay, so now we have all of that done. We have clearance, we have interlocking part right here, but there's one more thing I want to do to make sure that it actually snap locked together. I will go back and get this mid plane, do another sketch. So now we're gonna project. I just want to project this line right here and this line right here and this whole body right here. That's it. We are gonna be using the outer dot right here to make our sketch. I'm gonna do a 0.4 offsets right there, selecting this teeny tiny point right here, do another 0.4 offsets there, combine the two, combine the top line here. Now we have this piece. We can click finish sketch, use the revolve tool again, select the axis one more time. Now we are looking at this small piece right here. So if we look at this piece right here, right, it has a 0.4 offsets. I'm going to do a -1 degree for both sides, just so that we have this teeny tiny piece right here. Join them together. I'm going to fillet it by 0.9 millimeter, just so that we have this teeny tiny offsets, so that it will snap lock into the outer piece. So we want this for the other side. So what I do easily, just copy the body, move the set pivot to the middle portion, and then just rotate 180 degree, press OK. Now we want to combine both of the body, select join. We don't want to keep the tool no more, click OK. And now we have this little lock piece for both sides of them. Now if we bring back the outer body, look at the inside here, we can see that this thing almost touches outer box here, which is nice because in 3D printing, when you print the 3D parts, it's not exactly how it looks when it's printed. It has a clearance. Okay, now I'm happy with all of that. So to touch up everything, I'm just gonna do a fillet of everything here, so that it makes everything fits together nicely with no sharp edge. Select all of the edge that seems sharp and that we need it to. Just offset, just do a fillet of 1 millimeter like that. Let's do the same thing for the inner body here. Select all the 4 sharp edges here and do 1 millimeter also. Look at that, it looks pretty nice now. We can look at the inner piece here and look at this, it just rounded very nicely. I'm gonna extrude the inner portion by 40 millimeters. Then I'm gonna make another sketch at the very top. This is not necessary, but it gives you extra grip when you are twisting and turning this thing. I'm gonna use a 3-point arc tool like that, and then I'm gonna extrude all the way down right there. Fillet this two piece by 1 millimeter. Use the circle pattern, select the feature part, select the axis, and let's just give it about 13. And look at that, it looks pretty nice now. I'm gonna fillet everything so that it has a nice finish to it, and then we are complete. Fillet the bottom portion here too with the inner portion so that we have less timeline. Just do a 1 millimeter, and voila, we are complete. Look at that. We have made a twist joint very simply like that. It took about 14 minutes just to make this, and we can 3D print them and it will turn out really beautifully as the one that I showed you. Okay, as you saw there, it might not be the best demo or walkthrough to make the twist joint here, but I think it's pretty decent. And yeah, like I said, this one is good for twisting things or rolling thing or whatever you want to, turning things, right? And this other joint is very good for pulling stuff or only rolling it one way so that it does not come off. These joints are just very cool. You don't need to use them as like pulling or stuff like that. You can just use them as joining two pieces of 3D printed parts together. Let's say you have a robot, right? You want to join the arm with the hand. You can do it this way, and it works perfectly fine. It can move stuff like that, but bad example, but whatever. And yeah, that'll be it for this video of me modeling and 3D printing and showing you how I made these twist joints by looking at references of the spool holders that comes with most of the 3D printers that we have today. And yeah, if you enjoyed this kind of video and you found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, comment down below what you think about these twist joints. Do you have any other favorite joint? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, keep on 3D printing.